All right, so let's talk about the upstate chocolates. And while I'm doing this, I want to mention that one of the things that I noticed in looking at your homework and walking around the room is that most of you are spending far too much time writing and rewriting things that aren't necessary. These are not statements done on ledger paper, so whatever you do is fine. Okay? So you'll notice in this, okay? So anyway, what you should do is try to eliminate any unnecessary writing that you don't need. So this is the production data for upstate chocolates. We have the first table is what happened in production, and the second table has to do with the ABC cost pools and their rates. There are 4 cost pools here. There are 3 cost pools here. So there are 7 items altogether. So the first thing you need to do is to figure out what are the activity rates for each one of those 7 cost pools. And I told you that on more than one occasion when we were working the problems in class, particularly C5, okay? So the first thing you need to know is what are the totals of the amounts that are used. And instead of writing a bunch of stuff on a piece of paper, I just came over here right on the right-hand side and I wrote in all 6 of the totals, okay? 144,000 pounds, 56,500 pounds, 5,400 direct labor hours, 43,000 boxes. Now, there are, and I know it said units on yours, but units, boxes, 50 of these candy boxes go in one shipping carton. So 25,000 divided by 50 and 18,000 divided by 30 gives you 1,100 cartons. Okay, and 200 setups. So it's just add them across. Okay, because what we're trying to do is spread all of these cost items across these 2 production lines based on their activity. All right, then all I'm going to do is bring those numbers, and again, I'm not writing anything I don't need to write. Divide by 144,000, divide by 56.5, divide by 54. So I'm matching what it tells us in the driver with the total that's up here. Setups, boxes, cartons, and then there's this general overhead, which is based on direct labor hours, so it's 5,400. Write in the rates right there on the sheet of paper. Don't make more work for yourself. So I go and find out all these rates, and actually I caught myself in a mistake. So the check figures I put on the board, there was an error. So these are correct. All right, so that's the first step, is to calculate the rates. Then the next step is to come down and have a column for 50 piece, a column for 120 piece. Notice I only wrote the descriptors once on the left-hand side. Dry, wet, DL, boxes, cartons, setups, general. I don't care how you abbreviate on this, it's for your benefit. Then we're going to take all of the actual usage multiplied by the rate. Get the totals, add them up. That's the cost of that production line. Take all of your actual activity, multiply them by the rates, same rates. Add them up. Okay? Then I always check everything. I spent too many years as an accountant, so I added 689,860 and 1,445,000 to make sure. You'll notice I wrote a little total up here under my column, 2,135,090, 2,135,090. That tells me that more than likely I didn't make a mistake. It doesn't mean I didn't make one. It's just Generally, for big errors, you would catch them that way. But again, all I had to do was figure out the total, use the total to find the rate, and then use the rates with the actual production and add them up. All right, so that's part one. Notice how little extra writing I did. All right, then they asked you, what is the cost per unit? A unit is a box, okay? And you need to get used to the fact in life that sometimes different words are going to be used for the same thing. Again, if you're trying to be a mechanic, you're going to want a recipe, and your boss and your job are not going to give you recipes. They're going to expect you to be able to know what you need to do and not quibble about one word or another word. All right, 689,860. We made 25,000 of them. Right? If you go back up to the previous page, 25,000 up here, 689.60. It's 27.5944, and actually 27.59 is a little more correct, but either way, you get the idea. And you're going to round the money to 2 decimal places. If you rounded that to no decimal places, it would have been $28. That's okay too. Okay, I'm not that picky. 1,445,230 divided by 18,000 is 80.2906, and again I made that 80.30. That it'd be 80.3. If you want to make it $80, 80.3, close enough. And notice what I've been doing. I'm drawing little boxes around my answers. Sometimes you make me work awfully hard to find your answers. Try to make sure you do something like boxing them and make sure that all of the unit information is there. All right. Then item 3. We want to earn a profit of 35 cents. In order to do that, it's the cost times 1 plus the markup rate. 27.60 times 1.35 gives you $37.26 a box. Take you 30 seconds to do that. Box your answer. And then in number 4, we're going to do the opposite. If we sell it at 99, what's the profit percentage? Well, we're going to have to do 2 steps. We're going to have to find the profit in dollars and find the markup rate. $99 minus $80.30 is $18.70 profit. $18.70 divided by the cost, $80.30, is 0.2329 or 23.29%. Okay? And that's all you had to do for that. This problem it has more calculator gymnastics. Shouldn't take you any more than 20 minutes to do this. But again, look at how I did it and look at how you've been doing your homework and get rid of all that extra writing that just chews up precious time on an exam. Okay? And again, the one you see on Friday now is not going to be exactly in this order. So you need to make sure that you can look at this, understand the process, so that if I change it up on you, you still know what to do. Okay? Hope this helps.